Hello, I'm Wander001, and this is what I'm going to call the Google Pixel 2 Lite review. Because chances are, if you are looking at this phone, you already have a good idea of why you're looking at this phone. Aluminum body, IP67 water resistance, 5-inch AMOLED display, 16:9 aspect ratio, launching with Android 8.0 or 8.1, depending on when you're watching this video, or, in the future. Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 comes with 64 or 128 gigabytes of internal storage, 4 gigs of RAM, optic image stabilization for your rear-facing camera with laser autofocus. Video camera can take 4K at 30 frames a second or 1080p at 30, 60, or 120 frames per second, 720p at 240 frames a second, Type-C connector, fast charging up to 10.5 watts, and has a 2700 milliamp battery. But chances are, you probably already knew that. The idea behind this review was me thinking that other people who might be on the fence about getting a Pixel 2, or people who are interested in the Pixel line but are not sure if they want to give up like their Samsung or whatever. One of the other things is too, every review that I watched always had it, here's your thumbnail, look at the back of the phone. I get it. The back of the phone is this interesting two-tone approach. Like I said, it's all aluminum, but you have this glass part up here and this textured, kind of plasticky feeling coating over the back. I get it. The front of the phone is not much to look at, but having it like that, I don't know. It irks me a little bit. But since we're looking at the back right now, they have a fingerprint sensor right in the middle. Well, not in the middle, but like in the correct quote-unquote spot. I've never had a fingerprint sensor on a phone before, but I must say I enjoy having it when it works. Now, everybody says, oh, it's perfectly great. And maybe if you're naked carrying your phone, it works a little better. I have a case, so it's hit or miss sometimes. Not saying it's a bad feature, but there are times I have to put in the PIN code because I tap it too many times trying to activate it and it locks me out of using the fingerprint. The glass top here, again, I'm not a fan of glass on the backs of phone, which is also why, again, review over there for a case that I have. But it's not hurting things. It will collect fingerprints. The backing down here is nice because it adds a little texture to it, so it helps you hold on to the phone. Now, the camera lens right there does protrude a little bit from the back of the phone, not as much as in past models of cell phones. Coming along to the side here, the right-hand side, if you're looking at it this way, you have your power button and your volume rocker up and down. Now, there is no texture on these at all, so it's a little difficult at times to distinguish which is which. The rubberized, plasticky feeling does come over to the sides of the phone, which helps you grip it. Top of the phone, nothing to look at. Bottom of the phone, USB-C port. Well, guess what? Google went and did the brave thing too and removed the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. USB-C is nice because hopefully that'll be a unifying standard and everybody will start using it, but the lack of a headphone jack. Why? Okay, me personally, I stopped using wired headphones a while ago, just because at my job, it gets caught on things. Even if I threaded it up through my shirt, I still got caught on things. I have a Bluetooth headset. I'm okay with that. But I see a lot of younger people with wired headphones. So why are your flagship devices getting rid of the headphone jack? On the front of the Pixel 2 here, there is a screen protector, review over there. You do have 2 front-facing speakers, which is one of the reasons I got the Pixel 2. Once you have front-facing speakers on a phone, it is very difficult to go back to having a downward-facing speaker or a rear-firing speaker. The Pixel 2, even though it gets these chunky bezels because of those front-facing speakers, on the smaller version, Pixel XL, you get thinner bezels. So I wish that would have carried over to the Pixel 2 here, but since my previous phone was from 2014, these larger bezels don't bother me that much because, well, my phone was very similar to that. So aside from the overall hardware feel of the phone, and a lot of phones are starting to look like each other. That's one of the things that you're just gonna have to realize. Eventually we're gonna get to like this unified, everybody agrees this is the standard box that we'll be using as a smartphone. So what differentiates this phone from other phones? That's the software. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this launched with Android 8.0, so that's the first phone to get Android 8.0. Going forward, these will also be the first phones to get 9.0, 10.0, and so forth. Now, you will get 3 years worth of OS updates and security updates. Again, software is now king. My previous phone, the Moto X second generation, which was from 2014, they said I was supposed to get at least up to Android Marshmallow. I got Lollipop soon after I got the phone, and that was it. My wife's HTC phone did get Marshmallow. Why Moto? Why? Which is why I looked at the Pixel. The Pixel is from Google. So you are going to get those updates. You will be the first to get those updates. Now, there are some software features that start on the Pixel and then move to other phones. So if that's the reason you're getting the Pixel because you want to have exclusive software or applications, you're not going to get that, but you'll get them first. So the battery in the Pixel is a 2700 milliamp battery. Is that big enough for you? Well, it depends on what you do. And again, going back to the software helps you get the most out of that. Now, my previous phone, it was old, the battery was dying on me within like a day. With the Pixel 2, only has a 100 milliamp extra than my older phone, but I can get through a day and a half, almost 2 days sometimes, with this phone, based on my previous usage and continued usage. Now, if you're worrying about charging, if you charge it in 15 minutes, you can go from 15% to 40%. If you wait 30 minutes, you can go from 15% to 56%. And if you want to fully charge it, you can do that in an hour and a half with the included charger. Keep in mind that that's going to be a quick charge. So you might be asking yourself, there's a lot of reviews of the Pixel 2 XL. Why did I go with the Pixel 2? Well, one, I don't have blue shift problems or screen burn-in. But that's not the primary reason. The primary reason was for me, the size. This Pixel 2 XL is a little bigger than I want to have for a phone. Do I wish the screen was slightly bigger, that they kind of slimmed down these speakers? Yes. But this form factor for me is the perfect size. I can put it in my pocket, it doesn't take up a lot of room, and it works for me. That's probably why you're looking at this review too. Now, the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL share a lot, if not all, of the internal hardware. So all the things that you're seeing about the Pixel 2 XL will pertain to the Pixel 2 as well, except for the screen. So taking a look at, so you could see that's me, my finger's slightly damp, and it's giving me a problem using the fingerprint scanner. So that is what I was referring to. So apparently it wasn't just my case, it's a sweaty finger. So coming to the front of the Pixel 2. This was the first time that I was able to transfer information from one phone to another. Now, previously, when I had my original Samsung Galaxy S3 and I was moving over to the Moto X, I had to manually bring everything over. Pixel 2 had a connector and a software that you could use that just pretty much brought everything over. In fact, there will be an eye popping up over there, which will bring you to the setup process for the Pixel 2. It was one of the simplest processes that I have gone through for a phone. Now, it did not log me into all my services, but that was a small, because if you've got something like LastPass, you can use that to log into everything. The Pixel 2 itself is very snappy, and again, you would expect that from a flagship device. Now, you'll notice that I have a dark background there. Well, that's because I like having the dark theme on the phone. Now, Pixel 2 does come with, they say, unlimited photo backup, which is nice because you get full res. However, it's for the life of the phone, so that's going to be like 3 years of full photo backup. But if you're on a 3-year cycle or even a 2-year cycle, you'll be getting the next phone, which will probably give you extra photo access. Now, this is me taking pictures of some stuff around the house, some problems that need to be addressed. But the Pixel 2's photo quality is really, really good. Now, the Pixel 2, as of 2017, had the best camera for a smartphone. Now, you will also get portrait mode, which will be indicated on photos with this little dot. So it lets you know that there's two different types of photo. So non-portrait mode, let me bring that up a little closer. And then portrait mode has the dot. So non-portrait, portrait. It might be a little tricky to see on a picture of a cat on a bad background, but zooming in there, you can see just how much detail you can get with the Google Pixel camera. Now, you also have Google Lens, which is kind of what Google Goggles used to be. It'll give you information based on what it sees in the picture. Now, pictures are perfectly fine, but the video, while it does have optical image stabilization and electric, so they have a hybrid, the audio quality on videos, not terribly great. Pictures are awesome, but the video quality for audio only is a little left to be desired. One other feature of the Google Pixel 2 is the squeeze. And at first, I didn't think I would use it as much as everybody was like, oh, it's really cool, I use it all the time. I don't use it all the time. But I will admit, when I'm holding the phone like this, which is when I first pick it up or when I first turn it on, squeezing it to activate the Google Assistant is more useful. But if I'm in my normal holding the phone feature, such as this, it's easier for me to tap the Assistant down there. Now, the Google Assistant is a big part of what makes the Google Pixel the Google Pixel. Google's moving to an AI-first mindset, so the Assistant is much more developed than it was previously. You can do all sorts of things with it. It understands contextual stuff. You can tell it to text people. I mean, it's really good compared to like Bixby or something like that, like a Siri, which is only half-baked in my opinion. I think Google is on the right track with this phone. I'm assuming the Google Pixel 3 will probably be right about where a flagship phone should be. These are good incremental steps. Now, this is currently being filmed in 2018. Is the Google Pixel 2, which is a 2017 flagship phone, worth your time? Well, realistically, yes. Even though it's $650, you could probably get it for cheaper once the 2018 flagships start coming out. It's gonna hold up. It's gonna get those software updates. You're gonna be okay with it. If the price of $650 is a little deterring, you might not be looking for a flagship phone. But even in 2018, early 2018, the Google Pixel 2 still holds its own, in my opinion. Again, this was just a quick summary of somebody who got the Pixel 2. I'm not super phone guy. I like technology, but like phones are, I just want it to do what I want it to do. So hopefully, maybe you found this useful. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the area below. I have been Wanderer001. Thanks for watching.